Welcome to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. Now, here's your host, Lisa Condit.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for listening. I'm here today with Helder Machado of Machado Consulting. We have been working with Helder at the Hanover Theater since before we opened our doors. I met Helder back in the days when we were in Frank Carroll's building across the street from the theater that was nowhere near being completed at all. Welcome, Helder.
Welcome, thank you.
Well, things have changed a lot in the last 6 years, huh?
Significantly, yes.
So just out of curiosity, when Troy first started talking to you about some of the technical needs of the Hanover Theater, what was the scope of the project?
It was pretty simple. You needed a server to take in the ticketing system, as well as a file server and an email server for your needs for communications.
Okay, well that sounds fairly basic.
Yeah, it was. It does sound very simple. Of course, you know as well as I do that it's grown significantly since then.
Well, so about how long did it take for that one simple sounding thing to expand to what was the next?
It turned out to be a very large project where we were integrating your whole network, a wireless system throughout the theater, which had multiple zones, multiple security throughout the theater, dealing with the architect and making sure that the wireless was aesthetic as well as still able to meet the needs of you, of the theater.
And then we moved our theaters across the street.
Correct, exactly.
And so you've seen literally the staff grow from, when did you start working with Troy? How many people were there?
So there was about 5 people to where you are today, which is over 30.
Which is pretty impressive.
Correct.
I bet we've had some technical challenges along the way. It's really me, everybody. I'm the one that calls Helder. I call him the Helder helpline. And he's helped to save many a marketing day. Let's put it that way. You can use that jingle if you want.
I
your
will.
Marketing
Thank
promos.
you very much, yes.
So it's funny because, things seem so simple, and we'll get to websites and how you really help to integrate the ticketing with our other part of our site and how we're going to be always striving to improve upon things, steps for taking that to the next level. But one behind-the-scenes moment is, have you had any special requests lately?
Oh, we get special requests all the time. So we have a show in town this weekend where last minute, they need a certain number of phone lines, a certain number of internet lines. They need everything configured. And my wiring guy literally right now is drilling through the sidewalk to make sure that we're able to meet those needs.
Whoa. Drilling through the sidewalk. Now, hold on one second, because doesn't it sound pretty easy to everybody? Oh, we just need some phone lines. But what does that mean, really?
Right. It always sounds pretty simple, but then the phone lines need to be outdoors. The phones are typically in the basement where the server room is, and so we have to rewire a number of different things, and then we have to get it out the side, and then we need to repair it when we're done because the show goes over it. So it's definitely a challenge. I'm never surprised when I get a request.
Well, and what's funny is Helder is talking about, the server room and, the sidewalk. He's actually talking about the creative suite, as we like to call it. That would be our offices for the marketing and PR department. So as Helder was describing, they've had to drill through the sidewalk outside the Franklin Square salon the night of a show so that everything is done in order to, bring the wires down from the sidewalk? Oh, is that over Laurie's desk?
That's right. It's over Laurie's desk. So it's definitely a challenge, and we look forward to it. And it's a great partnership, so it's always fun. And
the server room, really, he's talking about a little closet inside our office.
Correct.
Which is funny, too, because, and now I'm going to show how old I am. Originally, when we talked about server rooms, they were at least 10 by 10, 12 by 12 foot rooms, and
Correct.
Literally computers from top to bottom.
Correct. And now we have a room that's maybe 3 by 5, and there's quite a bit of equipment inside there.
Right. So tell me a little bit about, now you have a very successful business right here in downtown. So you've seen some changes in the downtown area. I'd like to think in part due to some of the things that the Hanover Theater has been doing. You've also been a very active member of the Franklin Square Salon. And why don't you tell people a little bit about your experience as a business owner?
It's been very, very good. We moved into Worcester about 4 years ago, and we've expanded over 200%. We've continued to embrace Worcester County and Worcester in general, and are establishing ourselves as one of the premier IT vendors in Worcester. And a lot of that had to do with the work that we've done at the Hanover Theater and working with the great people there, as well as establishing ourselves in Worcester.
Well, let me tell you, everybody, Helder has been very nimble. And really nimble and flexible is something that everybody wants to look for in a technical partner.
Thank you.
Yes. And really, he does take me off the ceiling when I'm there at that important deadline, and we've got the brochure that needs to go to the printer, and oh, why isn't my computer coming on? And now I'm not stupid when it comes to computers. We just have to put that out there too, right?
Correct.
So how many of those types of calls do you get from other clients?
We usually field a lot of those calls, and so it's very easy, obviously, to support a client that doesn't call very often and they have very basic needs. But I think one of the areas that Machado Consulting really shines is we get these really crazy, obscure, I need this done, by the way, it needed to be done yesterday, I need it right now, or I need a wire run 500 feet, and it's got to go through a couple of concrete walls, and it's got to go over ceilings and so forth, and making sure that it gets done.
Well, and one of the calls that Helder got recently from me is, okay, so we've launched our new website, and look at that. We knew that there might be areas where people are having challenges, a lot of great feedback, but all right, we'll make immediate changes that we know can help increase usability, but what do we do when it's time to do a more in-depth kind of case study? And what kind of location? We have resources to help us develop the questionnaires and the questions and what we're looking for and what are the goals, but where do we host that? Because really, we don't have any room to host that at the Hanover Theater. So Helder, what can people expect if they want to, for example, get involved with the focus groups that we'll be doing about our website?
So what we're doing is we're working with the Hanover Theater to establish a web usability study, which will include a number of different workstations with different operating systems, different browsers, and different applications to actually thoroughly test the website and making sure that it's easy to use and customer friendly for all the users. And we're going to establish that in our office, which is up above on the 4th floor of the Bay State Bank building. And people can come in and actually go through the process and run through some tests.
And so what's the name of your company?
It's Machado Consulting.
And do you have a website?
We do, www.machadoconsulting.com.
Now, are you guys on Facebook too?
We are.
And Helder, do you personally do a lot of those Facebook posts?
I do. I personally do most of it. I'm very much an outgoing extrovert when it comes to it. Not a typical IT guy, but I love people, love helping people, which is what drawn me to technology. And I use the social media to actually just continue to broadcast that and help people.
It's really been great. And actually, we're going to be talking to Laurie Carr in a little while, too. She's our social media manager about some of the things that we're doing on Facebook, too. But it's just truly amazing how much things change, how quickly they change, and the platforms that change. And that you cannot overestimate how much that impacts how people are then able to see your website, depending on what browser they're in, whether they're on a phone or their iPod or iPad. Yeah, I obviously don't have an iPad yet. Although Troy, by the way, he said we could get one, so you're going to be getting a call from Laurie about setting up our iPad so that we can be super cool with all of our other friends. And, it really is helpful to have a good partner who has seen the business grow.
It is.
And so tell us a little bit. You've seen a lot of different shows at the Hanover Theater. You were at our grand opening.
I was.
You're one of our founding members.
I am.
That means that his name is on a chair, everybody, which is very nice. He's been a Franklin Square Society member. And so tell people from your perspective, what does that mean?
It's really, I've always enjoyed the arts, but I'd never really had a chance to be involved with it as much as I have since I've joined with the Hanover Theater, and the partnership's just been wonderful. My family tremendously has benefited from it, being a part of the Franklin Square Society and really attending a lot of the shows. We attend the Christmas Carol every year. It's always a lot of fun. And we just continue to enjoy the Broadway series as well as a number of other shows.
And you know what? I see you there quite frequently, which is really nice. And it seems like you've made other friends in the Franklin Square Society.
We have. And we also use it as a way to say thank you to our clients. So we will purchase additional tickets. And every now and then, I just think it's such a great show and it's a great theater that I want to share that with all my clients and my friends.
All right, that's terrific. So thank you so much for coming on today, Helder. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to continue with more behind the scenes after this break.